Alright guys, people have been asking what I look like. This is me. Uh, Steve from CNS Organics. I've got to figure out how to do all the fancy video work when it comes to having my face up in the corner and doing all the other extra bells and whistles that a lot of people do when it comes to adding links to previous videos or from somebody I watched. Um, I'm not going to stay on myself because it's not about me. It's about the garden I am coming from you from here inside the original greenhouse. It is all windows, 2x4 frame, plastic ceiling. I will switch the camera around so that you guys can see what's going on. This is just an update from here from us at CNS Organics. So, see if I can do this. I'm not used to doing it from this view. Here is the view of the aquaponic systems. Okay, our tomatoes are doing great. Everything's doing well. We've got, let's see if I can get there. The little baby tomatoes coming out. We got a lot of flowers going on. We even have some okra that's trying to develop. It's not doing really awesome, but then again, okra is more of a summertime, really hot summertime weather plant. One thing I would like to talk about is I put this little, I don't know if you can see this little twist tie there, because this plant here really struck my attention. It comes down, it comes out of the nitrogen in this ebb and flow system. But this one plant has only produced yellow tomatoes. Now you got a red one up there, but that's from another plant. This one here, I put a little twist tie. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm not used to filming this way, but this plant right here, the tomatoes that come off of this plant are the sweetest, the best. I mean, they're absolutely awesome. I've had quite a few, and they're great. Everybody loves the yellow tomatoes. Trying not to make this too awful long, but I did want to do an update. Here's this beautiful, I don't even know what it is. It's something we got for free, and we tried it out in the aquaponic system, and it is just absolutely, I guess it's some type of flower, or maybe a succulent with a broad leaf, or maybe some kind of tropical plant. I'm not really for sure, but I know that it's doing really well. I'm not sure what all of this y'all are catching, because like I said, I'm not used to filming this way. Here's some more of the okra that is, we thought it was died off from a freeze, and it's not. It's actually producing and growing good and everything. We got a jalapeno back there. Yeah, you can see it. Lots of tomatoes and more tomatoes, and you know that side down there, I strung up real well. I mentioned in previous videos, I strung it up real well, and it has still, it even though I strung it up good, I didn't keep managing it. Tomatoes are almost like a constant work. I mean, they just produce so much. They're so heavy. If you look up here at the top, we're gonna hitting the ceiling and starting to curve on the ceiling. We got flowers up there. We got little baby tomatoes up there, and I can't even reach them. That's a 10-foot ceiling. This one here laid over, which I trimmed up a little bit earlier, but it's has quite a bit of tomato growth on it. There's a lot of armpits and some people call them armpits, some call them runners or what have you, that I've got to trim off. But when it comes to tomatoes, and these are all like cherry tomatoes, it is a lot of work just to keep them in check, because they just, I mean, I don't know 100% when it comes to in the dirt and growing them in your garden on how often you have to go and trim your tomato plants, on whether it's on a daily basis or every couple of days or on a weekly basis. These guys being in a ebb and flow aquaculture system, running I've got goldfish for right now. I'm not adding any kind of supplements. I probably need to. You can see a little bit of an iron deficiency on a couple leaves, but I plan on doing so. But each day off of these guys, and I don't even do it every day. This is just today. This bucket is completely full of trimmings just off of these tomato plants, which there's, I guess, about maybe 8 or 10, and these guys. And as you look at them, it is a absolute mess. I mean, yeah, we've got tomato production. We've got stuff going on. We got tomatoes all the way up there about 9 foot, and we got flyers at 10 foot, and these plants just go absolutely crazy. They grow so fast that it seems like at times I don't have time to, enough time, I guess, to come and do all the trimming. They're just growing so strong and so hardy and so fast. And the tomatoes, they taste amazing. They're great tomatoes. I mean, we got some, green, but we got, reds coming out. If I came out and I pulled the reds every day, I could probably have a dozen or more, or maybe 2 dozen. I don't even know for sure, because I don't do that on a daily basis. Here is one of our fish tanks. Fish come up, and then they kind of like to hide. But this system over here, like I said, I'm not used to filming this way, so I'm hoping you guys are catching everything. It's kind of the same system. This is a deep water culture, whereas that's an ebb and flow deep water culture. The arugula, I haven't been really amazed with it. I don't think the nutrient solution is quite right for them yet. I noticed that depending on what plant it is, on what type of plant, on when you do it, and how many fish you stock, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it. This here is Swiss chard, and the Swiss chard is actually doing amazing. I mean, this leaf right here, I've said before in my videos, from pinky to thumb is about 10 inches. So that's a 10-inch leaf there. There's a couple of leaves on the other side and some down in here that are even bigger than that. Swiss chard is doing great. It tastes great. It's real crisp. Sounds awesome. It tastes great. These guys are my iceberg lettuce. And a lot of people will do iceberg lettuce and let it form a head. And you can do that, and you have a head of lettuce. That's great. These here, I've been doing a little bit different method, and it's what they call a cut and come again method. The cut and come again method is that you keep cutting the plants whenever they have the big broad leaves, as you can see, and then they'll reproduce, and they'll keep going and keep going and keep going. So instead of one head of lettuce, you can harvest this plant for quite a long time. These here I've been harvesting for probably maybe 2 months, maybe a little bit more than 2 months. I've got probably a couple of pounds of lettuce off of each clipping. Maybe 20 times I've clipped. I probably have a total of like maybe 30 or 40 pounds. These plants are doing great. Even though that, you know, if you look at this guy, if I reach down here, he is like laid over. I mean, he's like laid over. He's heavy. He's like pushing on the light. He's still going. He's still growing. He's got good leaf, a little bit at the very tips. I think that's an iron deficiency. But if you look at the stock, I mean, you're looking at 1.25 inches, maybe 1.5 inches. Some of these maybe a little bit heavier, some of them a little bit less. But you can grow it to a head of lettuce, or you can let it grow and take the trimmings, the clippings. Well, look at this leaf. Look at this leaf. Like I said, 10 inches. I mean, that's 12, 14 inch long across there. I mean, that is a big, beautiful, healthy leaf of lettuce. Nice and crisp. So the deep water culture is going great. I did want to touch on a few other things. My wife's succulents. I'm not sure how well you can see them. They're doing great. The fish tank with the koi, just trying to get them beefed up, hardened up a little bit for them to go in the deep water culture. We got some onions down there, elephant ears, more and more and more succulents. I mean, they're just everywhere. We got the foxtail fern up there. Got a bunch of bulbs. We planted those. A couple of them have sprouted. I'm not sure if you can see that guy, but a couple of them have sprouted, a couple of them hadn't. We got more and more stuff going on, some more fish. Like I said, I'm not used to filming this way. Everybody just kept saying, you know, hey, you got to show your face. Everybody know who you are. We are still working on the hoop house. I'm going to try to do this in the dark. Hoop house is still there. It's still going on. I had ordered the wiggle wire and wiggle wire tracks, and it's supposed to be in within a week. And it was locally by the UPS tracking over a week and a half ago, and it still has not showed up. I looked at it and said, sorry, your package is late. Expect it in the next few days, and hadn't seen it. So hopefully it'll come soon where I can get that one done and weathered in. As far as anything else here at CNS Organics, we are doing online registration for classes. I will try to share a link for our Facebook page, and that way you guys can come do some classes and learn about it. I'm going to do some seeds, seeding class, going to do hydroponics and also aquaponics. Hydroponics is pretty simple. It's going to be about an hour course. The aquaponics a little bit more complicated, but as you can tell, it's awesome. It actually is awesome. It works great. It just, you know, it is amazing. And it's going to be a 2-hour course. We'll do some raised beds, some dirt farming. We're going to do a lot of different classes. So if you can, come check us out here at CNS Organics. Please, like I say, like and share. Make sure to hit the little bell, the little icon down there. That way you get notifications whenever I get up here and tell you guys about what's going on. Appreciate you guys. Thanks, and here's from Texas.